Have to run that motion offense aggressively and be looking to score when you get the basketball and get it in the right spot. But Darko with 10 rebounds, Mike Singletary with 8, and between those, 9 of their 18 rebounds have been on the offensive glass.
Red Raiders come back out with that starting lineup intact. Robertson against Christopherson. That left Darko open. Boy, Brad Reese really went to the glass in a hurry there, maybe a little too quickly. The ball bounced a little bit slower, and here's a fast break, and Singletary.
John Robertson starts that by stealing the pass, and then Mike Singletary, who runs the floor so very well, as does Brad Reese or Dwaylen Roberts, and John got it ahead. Mike clearly finished.
First field goal in almost 5 minutes. The Red Raiders back up 38-47, 11-point lead now. Biggest lead of the game.
Iowa State wanting to work with Gilstrap and Bracken. Well, that's Dendy in the ball game on that side of the floor. Here's Bracken's on the offside, and they're going to, they travel
on Bracken.
Yeah.
And a correction, a 9-point lead. I was looking, I thought it was 48-37 when I looked at that.
Getting that shot off, but clearly here in this early going of this second half, Iowa State trying to get that basketball inside.
Dominique Buckley back in there for Iowa State. And the shot from outside by Singletary isn't even close. Hamilton with the rebound.
Hamilton wasn't particularly playing great defense on Singletary, but you're still knowing that you've got to shoot over a 6'11" guy, and you're pretty much outside, and Singletary just didn't have enough on it.
Open in the corner is Buckley, and he knocks down the three.
Well, Gilstrap seeing that and able to make that pass across court, and the Red Raiders defense all shifted to one side and unable to get back and defend Buckley.
Okori answers.
About Nick Okori, yeah.
Well, that's what's happened here tonight. It seems like every time that the Cyclones in that first half would hit a big three, Red Raiders would come down and answer. Same thing has happened here to open this second half.
And Nick's got 8 in the ball game, but that's a big shot because Iowa State had a little bit of momentum making that three-point shot, and Nick just completely negates that with his shot.
Only the 3rd team foul for the Red Raiders here in this half.
Here's that
There's
pick
Colvin,
set up
the
by
freshman.
Yeah, Dendy out to set the pick, and Colvin didn't go around. He went the other direction.
Well, he had the shot if he'd decided to take it instead.
Here comes the pick again, but Garrett goes the other way.
And Garrett with the feed, or with the drive rather, gets the basket and the with his 3rd foul. Free throw made. They were averaging just 30% before that free throw. And the pressure again by Iowa State. You wonder how long they can actually keep that up, though, with the lack of bodies that they have available.
Well, they had forced a turnover on a previous Red Raider possession. I think if you can get it maybe 1 out of 2 times, but you get Iowa State spread out, get that ball to Mike Singletary in the paint.
Going right through that.
And that's absolutely remarkable that you can play that well defensively and not let your opponent get to the free throw line, because that's clearly something the Red Raiders under Pat Knight have stressed, and they stressed that under Bob Knight before him. Get to the free throw line, get those opportunities.
Singletary went for the steal and couldn't get it. Gilstrap can't get the basket. Red Raiders fight for it, and Okori has it. Quickly out to Darko. Joe Adarovich, nice feed back out to Okori for the three.
When Darko started to back down, that drew the Iowa State defense to him, and Nick, who had run down that ball in the corner and gotten it up to Darko, came down the floor as the trailer with no defender on him. Darko recognized that. Nick Okori hits the long-range shot.
Lead was up to 16 before that shot.
For that one that you lost here at home to a very good Missouri basketball team. But first things first are the final 5:45 of this one. Pat Knight in that timeout stressing good shots. The Red Raiders had the lead. They, I don't think, have run their offense quite as well the last couple of times down and have not gotten as good a shot as they could.
Was one of your keys to the game. Wow. That's a pretty good shot. Theron Jenkins. Yeah, that's pretty good percentage right there.
Get Mike Singletary on the low block and look at the attention that generates from Iowa State. Singletary turns inside. Nobody stops Jenkins on his drive to the inside, and Mike Singletary gets an assist.
7th player for the Red Raiders to show up on the score sheet. outside, Christopherson with the three.
You had the double team on Brackens, and one of those double teaming the Iowa State big man, Brad Reese, and Reese just has a look on his face like I was double teaming it, and Greg McDermott, their coach, because they are hanging around. I mean, the Red Raiders have answered their charge. Iowa State has been able to answer what the Red Raiders have done as well.
Yeah, back within the double figure mark. 8-point lead now for the Red Raiders. Robertson, look at that as he's gliding across the lane to the right. He shoots it back to the left and makes the basket.
Again, you just can't let a team's point guard, and particularly one like John Robertson, who has had such an outstanding game shooting the ball tonight, just have open access and open path to the basket. That's what happens.
Back to a double figure lead.
20 points for John Robertson.
His season high is 25. Garrett way off.
I think Darko was waiting on the ball to hit the rim, and it just came off and went right past him, and winds up Gilstrap doing that.
Yeah, he also had a nice, Gilstrap had a nice screen by Hamilton as he was able to get that jam.
Yeah, that's a guy at 6'11", 260 or so that can
Screen
set
a
that.
lot,
Yeah, he can take up some space.
It's more like a door rather than a screen.
A big one, big door. This is a big possession. If Iowa State were to come down and hit a three, that lead is 5.
Inside 4 minutes, too. Singletary.
I don't know. I thought he was grimacing a little bit.
I thought
with the
so,
basketball.
too. It looks like he's having a little bit of difficulty with one of his legs.
Yeah.
Darko. The shot clock was down to 3 when he took the basketball, turned around, and hit the shot.
Darko, shoot. Singletary wants out of the ball game, holding his right shin, saying he's got to come out.
I think he's got some type of a cramp maybe in that right calf as he comes out with 3:28 left. Statistical category at this point, they had as much as a 16-point lead about 5 minutes ago. It's dwindled a bit. Now they're fighting to keep it into double figures. You see the assist numbers, the steal numbers, and the three-pointer for the Cyclones.
Well, Christopherson, boy, just a nice look at he's got a great shot. Nice touch, and out there outside able to get it. And the Red Raiders, Jenkins seeing DeWaylen Roberts cutting in half. But I'm telling you, it comes at a critical time because Iowa State can narrow the gap.
It really does. That three-pointer already cut it to a 7-point lead. And now Garrett feeding out to Colvin, who doesn't have enough, and it's Darko that clears it.
Darko's 11th rebound. He's got 8 points. Would sure like to see Darko get the double-double. He has worked very hard tonight, and his work on both ends on the glass, offense and defense, has been key.
The Red Raiders really needing to have a successful trip down the floor this time around, and they don't. Swatted away by Gilstrap. He feeds it up to Garrett. Boy, what a great athletic job by Gilstrap just to keep control of that thing, and now the lead is just 5.
To run that ball down was a great effort by Garrett, but John Robertson on the previous play, and John has done this some over his career, but you think now as he gets older and more experienced, those are less often, and Brad Reese may bail him out there, but John drove into the lane, got in the air, and had nothing to do with the basketball, and when he tried to pass it, it was taken away.
Reese with the baseline jam. Now it's Christopherson on the other end.
Boy, he's a good shooter.
Misses that one, though, and Darko's there for the rebound. And the Red Raiders get exactly what they need. They got a successful trip down the floor the last time, then get the rebound to try it again here.
Yeah, 12 for Darko, and John Robertson's got to be smart with the ball here.
And he fed it to Roberts, but he couldn't quite handle the section at least.
Because of the made basket, John Robertson can move underneath, but boy, Nick Okori is going to have to try to get out of a double team.
Did a great job to get it over to Singletary, middle of the floor. And back out to Robertson. McDermott's out on the floor over here in front of us.
Thought that Mike Singletary had traveled just a moment ago when he had the ball.
Inside a minute.
I think Mike back in the ball game too, because if they're going to foul him, he's a very good free throw shooter.
And they will.
Not moving very well, thinking he's cramped up.
And he cannot get the roll. So here come the Cyclones, and you would think they're going to put up a 3 here the way they've been able to knock them down tonight.
Well, they've got some people who can do it. They're going to use the double screen over on the near side of Brackens and Hamilton and let Christopherson could not get that shot. I think he was too close.
Yeah, Christopherson, when he